So here's how it all broke down, okay? It's a lot. Again, it was a busy morning. Just after 8 a.m. Eastern, the Senators announced in a release that they had traded Hoffman to San Jose, along with minor league defenseman Cody Donaghy and a fifth-round pick in 2020 in exchange for forward Mikhail Bodker, defenseman Julius Bergman, who spent last season, by the way, in the AHL, and a sixth-round pick in 2020. Okay, so that's a trade. That's
big enough for my day.
Yeah, and we thought, okay, and then we saw this. We're like, what is going on? Because 2 hours later, the Sharks flipped Hoffman to the Panthers, along with a seventh-round pick in this year's draft, in exchange for 3 draft picks, a fourth and a fifth rounder this year, and a second-round pick next year. Pick. So who made the better deal for Hoffman? Pierre Dorion or Doug Wilson?
Wasn't Pierre Dorion.
No.
This was a bad enough situation from an organizational standpoint, right?
Boy.
You got your superstar in Karlsson. You have your best goal scorer in Mike Hoffman. Something here is not right. We're going to know the truth eventually. Everyone's saying they're right. We don't know. If you're Pierre Dorion, you have to do this. No one in their right mind going over what we've read over the last week is going to say that this was a mistake to deal him. This was a fait accompli. Mike Hoffman, at the minimum, was going to get traded from this organization. When you trade him and on the same day the team you traded him to makes a way better deal than you did, and we're talking hours, not like later in the day when the dust settled, like San Jose had this in their hip pocket and pew, they brought it out and he's off to Florida for 3 picks. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a bad look. It is a horrific look. I understand you not wanting to trade Mike Hoffman in the division. It happened anyway. He's there. You're going to see him X amount of times more than you would have in San Jose. San Jose physically is the furthest NHL city from Ottawa.
See ya.
He did everything in his power, Pierre Dorion, to send this guy to the middle of hockey nowhere. With all due respect to San Jose, middle of hockey nowhere.
Lasted 2 hours.
It lasted 2 hours. And the deal you got back is not as good as what Doug Wilson got for San Jose. Doug Wilson, a fourth-round pick 2018, fifth-round pick same draft, a second-rounder next year. Like, Michael Bodker's not good. He's not a top 6 guy, and he's making like $4 million. He's never scored more than 15 goals in his career. You got nothing back for Mike Hoffman. I'm not mad at Dorion for that. But you got to get better than what San Jose gets 2 hours later for Mike Hoffman. I don't know how else to describe it. This whole organization is dying, man. This is a joke. You got Melnick doesn't want to pay anybody. He's threatening to leave. You got empty seats up top. You taper off seats. Karlsson's getting into it with a teammate. This organization is becoming the biggest joke in the league. And this league has Arizona and Carolina in it. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know where you go from here. I guarantee you, someone in that organization is going to start to cover their ass. You're going to see leaks in the next 24 hours about how this played out very soon. We may have already seen one. We get confirmation on that soon enough. I don't know how else to describe this other than the Sens are like one more bad decision away from being the biggest joke in this 31-team league. They're right there. And the week's not done yet.
Here's the thing, too, and you mentioned how Pierre Dorion now, especially because of the second trade and Hoffman going to Florida, how he's going to cover himself. He already was covering himself in the statement he released with the first trade, just getting him out of town.
Oh, this was good.
Because he's using the wording, today's trade showcases our determination to strengthen the future of the team by, this is the big part, improving chemistry, leadership, and character in the locker room and on the ice. And that's not the type of quote you usually get for trades. It's usually just about making the team better. So you can read between the lines there in terms of what Pierre Dorion is doing. The only thing I'll say is, because we love to judge trades, and it's easier to do today because you have a direct comparison of this trade didn't get you as much as this trade that the other guys got. But if there's a chance that the Ottawa Senators can now keep Erik Karlsson, and I'm not saying that's likely, that will then change our outlook on this trade.
Well, it's obvious the Sens are sticking by Karlsson.
Yes, they want to.
We still don't know the facts in the story. They will come out eventually. Someone here is not telling the truth. Mm-hmm. The reality of the Sens right now, and they know more than us, is they are going to stick next to their guy. Mm-hmm. That's half the story with Karlsson, though.
Yes.
Because the other half of the story, this will satisfy him, and I'm sure there were a lot of guys in that Sens room who were horrified at this story. There's another problem with Erik Karlsson. He wants PK Subban money. He wants more than PK Subban. Subban's a $9 million cap hit. Does any of us think Eugene Melnyk is going to give this guy $10 million a year? Raise your hand if you think Eugene Melnyk is going to give Erik Karlsson $10 million a year. Because that, to me, like, this is half the story. And if Karlsson walks, if they trade him this week because Karlsson's not going to want to stay with the organization, because there are other issues with the organization.
Well, I still think it's more to do with that than money. Because I still think, based on just today alone and all the stuff that's been going on, there is much more that we do not know about that is affecting the relationship between Karlsson and the owner, Karlsson and the GM, and the team as a whole with the city.
I'm with you. There's this feeling that Karlsson's now going to say that is wrong. That is incorrect. Anyone who thinks this problem was solved doesn't get it. Erik Karlsson and Eugene Melnyk can barely be in the same room together. This is a serious issue. And it's going to take a lot of money to fix it. And if anyone thinks Eugene Melnyk is going to step up and give him 10, 5, or 11, you're in dreamland. And now, I don't know what team gives him 11.
But money may not fix this anyway.
He's getting more than PK. Money might not fix it. You're right.
I don't know. It might be too deep for money to. Money would be nice.
Don't buy that this is straight now with Erik.
No.
That is not true. That guy, that face says it all right there. That is the face of a franchise who right now is looking in the mirror, having been a goal away from the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago, and have no idea what to do next.
After all our Montreal Canadiens talk yesterday, I bet Marc Bergevin's okay with today.
That Galchenyuk trade looks great compared to this.
I think bright future both sides.
Max Domi, you know what? I'm going to go back on it. 40 goals next year for Max Domi. 40 goals for Max Domi.
How many empty netters based on your stats yesterday?
38.
Okay.
38.
I'm sorry.
Did Hoffman say anything today? Did he say anything today?
He did. He spoke on Twitter, and he released a statement, and it was kind of what you'd expect. It was very gracious, thanking the team. This is what he had to say: to the Senators fans, community, and organization. Words can't describe how thankful I am for all your support during my 9 years with you. You guys let me fulfill my dream as a kid, making the NHL. He goes on. He's very gracious. He can't wait for the next opportunity. But I'm looking, and he didn't thank the Sharks. I know it was only 2 hours he was with the team, but you'd think. Well,
actually, Carolyn, that was his statement for the Sens.
Oh, that was the first statement.
I have here his statement for the Sharks that he was a member of for 2 hours.
Silly me. Sorry about that.
Mike Hoffman said to the Scribble Sharks fans community, words don't describe how thankful I am for all your support during my Scribble 2 hours with you.
Yeah.
You guys let me fulfill my dream as a kid of making the NHL. Next time I step foot on the ice in Scribble San Jose, I will not be wearing the Scribble San Jose or the Shark logo on my chest. And just go to the end. Goodbye, across outside Ottawa, San Jose. I have a feeling he just took the Ottawa message. I'm no sleuth. I think he just. For the record, we did that. He didn't do that. That's the Tim and Sid Twitter account, doing a great job. One last thing before we kind of move on here.
Sure.
And Darren Millard is joining us at 6 Eastern. So we're not done with the story.
No.
The one thing you see a lot in 2018, when a player gets sent to a new team, are guys on social media saying, yo, let's get it. Welcome to the team. Here we go. Yada, yada. Let's train this off season. I know a place in Sunrise, Florida, right?
Yeah.
Now, with that said, and our crack research staff was very good on this, the Florida Panthers as a team are one of the least active social media users in the National Hockey League, Strombone aside. But we cannot see any tweet from any member, any posting from any member of the Florida Panthers saying, welcome Mike Hoffman to the team. Nothing. Please, at Tim and Sid, if anyone sees it, because we love when you do our work for us as well. I've been wrong plenty of times. I've been wrong 4 times in my life. This will be the 5th. Help us out. We'll give you the credit. I am having a hard time finding that tweet, that post on Instagram. That is like a fart in the wind right now. You can't find it, which I find interesting. Do we have the Dale Talon sound, guys? Okay, this is because I'm a little riled up at Dale Talon, GM of the Panthers. Now, he brought in a guy who scored 25 goals 4 times in the NHL.
Sure.
Those guys aren't available often, so I'll give him credit for that. In terms of the off-ice stuff, though, Dale Talon was asked this in a conference call earlier today, and listening to Dale, he's got it figured out.
we did our homework and we discussed it with a lot of different people, and we feel that that's in the past, and now the distractions. We're very confident that he'll be embraced by our team and by their wives and girlfriends, and we have a strong culture down there now. And I think that talking with Mike and all the parties, that it will work out to our benefit.
All right, I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Sure.
Two things to that. What else is he going to say? And we do have to keep reminding ourselves that throughout this whole story, as strange as it has been, nobody has been proven guilty to this point. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that.
You're right. What is he going to say?
Yeah.
Don't tell me Dale Talon has gauged the temperature of everyone in that organization. That is not true. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me he knows what every wife is thinking on that team. Don't tell me he knows what every girlfriend is thinking on that team.
Sure.
Don't tell me he knows what his own players are thinking on that team, because we don't know what happened here. He claims to know what happened here, but they're still investigating it. So for Dale Talon to say that today, I think it's a little disingenuous. And I think there are some people in that organization or family members of people in that organization who are going, what the hell is he talking about? Didn't talk to me today. I don't want any part of this. I hope Dale Talon knows what he's doing, because that organization is one of the worst in hockey. They haven't made the playoffs in 5 or 6 years, and before then it's pretty lean too. Doug McLean's the last guy doing anything real in that city. That organization's awful. They normally don't know what they're doing. Don't tell me you've gauged this temperature and you know what's going to happen and you figured out the investigation and you're comfortable with your room. No one in that organization's comfortable with their room. They don't have a clue what they're doing. But no, Dale Talon's got to figure it out. Sure, Dale, go ahead.
I just hope that for everybody's benefits, for the Sens' benefit, for the Panthers' benefit, that everything gets resolved or at least figured out, and soon. Yeah.
So for everyone's sake.
Soon. For everyone's sake, soon.
And again, Sens fans, I don't think this means Erik Karlsson's staying. I'm just saying it.